The more financial news you consume, the poorer your decisions become. That is not an opinion. That is a documented pattern studied across thousands of investors over 2 decades, and the wealthiest people in the room figured it out long before the research confirmed it. Here is what nobody tells you. The financial media industry does not make money when you make money. It makes money when you stay afraid, stay confused, and stay glued to the screen. Every breaking alert, every market crash headline, every urgent what to do now segment is engineered to trigger one specific emotion: fear. And fear, as any behavioral economist will tell you, is the single most destructive force in wealth building. Think about the last time a financial news channel told you to do absolutely nothing. Think about the last time a headline read, "Market's fine, your long-term plan is working, go enjoy your weekend." That headline does not exist. It never will. Because calm does not sell advertising. Now, here is where it gets fascinating. A study published by researchers at the University of California tracked two groups of individual investors over a period of 10 years. The first group actively consumed financial news daily, adjusted their portfolios regularly in response to headlines, and stayed engaged with market commentary. The second group set their investment strategy and deliberately limited their exposure to financial media. At the end of the 10-year period, the low information group outperformed the high information group by an average of 3.2% annually. Over a decade, with compound growth, that gap represents a staggering difference in actual wealth. We are talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars for an average investor. Self-made millionaires discovered this truth not through academic papers, but through painful experience. Many of them will describe a specific moment, a crash, a panic sell, a rushed decision made at 2 a.m. after watching 3 hours of market analysis that cost them years of progress. They learned that information overload does not produce better decisions. It produces more decisions, and more decisions means more opportunities to make the wrong one. Warren Buffett, arguably the most successful investor alive, famously said that the stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. What he does not always say openly is that the financial news machine is the primary engine that manufactures impatience. It creates urgency where none exists. It frames normal market fluctuation as catastrophe. It gives faces and voices and dramatic music to statistical noise. Before you keep watching, if this kind of truth-telling about money is what you are looking for, hit that subscribe button and give this video a like right now. This channel exists to cut through the noise and give you the frameworks that actually build wealth, not just the ones that generate clicks. So what do the wealthy actually do instead of consuming financial news? They build what some call an information diet. Think of it exactly like a food diet. Your body is what you eat. Your financial mind is what you feed it. Junk food feels satisfying in the moment and destroys your long-term health. Junk information feels like being informed and destroys your long-term financial health. The first pillar of the information diet is intentional scarcity. Self-made millionaires do not check markets daily. Many check quarterly. Some check only when they have a scheduled decision to make. They understand that their portfolio does not need their emotional attention to perform. In fact, it performs better without it. The second pillar is source hierarchy. Instead of consuming whatever is loudest, they curate. They read annual reports, not daily commentary. They study business fundamentals, not analyst predictions. They pay attention to decades-long trend data, not this week's inflation numbers being shouted over a ticker tape. The third pillar is the decision journal. Instead of reacting to information in real time, they maintain a written record of their investment thesis for every major holding. When the market drops 15% and panic sets in, they return to that journal. They ask themselves, has anything I wrote here actually changed? If the answer is no, they do nothing. This single habit has saved fortunes. The fourth pillar is scheduled consumption. Rather than allowing financial media to interrupt their day at random, they set a fixed appointment with relevant information, perhaps 1 hour every Sunday morning with a single trusted source. Outside of that appointment, the financial news does not exist in their world. This is not ignorance. This is discipline. There is a psychological concept called information anxiety, first described by Richard Saul Wurman, the architect and designer who coined the term information architecture. He described it as the gap between what we understand and what we feel we should understand. Financial media profits enormously from creating and widening that gap. Every complex chart, every confusing acronym, every panel of shouting experts is designed to make you feel that gap intensely and keep you watching in the desperate hope that it closes. It never closes. That is the secret. The goal of financial media is not your clarity, it is your dependency. The millionaires who deliberately walked away from that dependency did not do so because they stopped caring about money. They did it because they cared about it deeply enough to protect their thinking from manipulation. They chose signal over noise. They chose strategy over reaction. They chose their future over someone else's advertising revenue. Your information diet is a financial decision. Every hour you spend consuming content designed to frighten you is an hour your worst financial instincts are being trained and strengthened. Every hour you spend in deliberate, curated, purposeful learning is an hour your wealth-building mindset grows stronger. The market will always have noise. The question is whether you are listening to it or building above it. If you want to go deeper on the exact frameworks self-made millionaires use to filter information and make high-confidence financial decisions, subscribe to this channel right now. The next video in this series breaks down the exact weekly routine that keeps high net worth individuals sharp, calm, and consistently profitable. You do not want to miss it.